Mitchell, your trial is set for tomorrow morning. Be ready to leave after muster.
Oh, geez, thanks for bloody nothing. Why didn't someone tell me sooner?
Perhaps they didn't think you needed to know.
So where's me solicitor?
You'll see him tomorrow.
Oh, typical. Just because I've got to use legal aid, I'm treated like dirt.
Listen, Anne, if you don't get treatment and that lump is malignant, you could be risking your life.
Look, Colleen, thank you, but I don't want to talk about it. I'll do what I think is best. I must be going.
Yes, but why take the risk of throwing your life away just because you're scared? Does your son know yet?
I repeat, it is none of your business.
I don't discuss things, Miss Ferguson. I decide them. Right now, I'm trying to decide just what to do with you. I don't think the world would miss you too much. What do you say, Ray?
Be better off, I reckon.
Ray knows what's right. It's a pity you don't. I really dislike the messy side of this business.
I'll fix it for you, Mr. Fellows.
Of course you will, Ray.
You're not even going to let me tell you why I wanted to see you.
No, Ferguson. I've spent enough time with you. All right, Ray.
If you kill me now, you'll never know what you're missing out on.
Persistent, aren't you? All right, lady. You can have your say.
I don't care how you make your money, Mr. Fellows. I just don't want to be involved.
So keep your nose out.
Let the lady talk, Ray. You wanted to say something else?
I want you to stop your operations at Wentworth. I run Wentworth.
What makes you think I should do what you want?
Well, I've got quite a bit of information on you, Mr. Fellows. Don Baxter's murder, for a start.
You still haven't said anything interesting, Miss Ferguson. I'm still inclined to kill you.
Well, now, that would be stupid. And I don't think you're stupid, Mr. Fellows. You see, I've got Hewitt, and I've got her signature on a statement. And if anything happens to me, then I don't think your life is going to be very comfortable.
You want me to take
I want you to shut up, Ray.
Well?
Miss Ferguson, you'd be one hell of a poker player. Anytime you're looking for a new line of work, you just come and see me. Now that we've got the formalities over with, how do you suggest we solve our little problem?
I want the drug trade out of Wentworth.
Easy. That's just chicken feed. But Hewitt, well, those licenses are very special. The girl's a real artist.
She wouldn't be much use if she accidentally broke her fingers, now would she?
You really do play rough, don't you? I like that. I'll tell you what I'll do. I don't really want to kill you. It's hard work. I've got to dispose of your body, cover for my boys. The percentages are lousy. So you give me Hewitt, and I'll pull out of Wentworth.
Right. I can have her transferred to Barnhurst. I understand you've already got things under control up there.
You're a very cluey lady, Miss Ferguson. It's a pleasure doing business with you.
Sorry to bother you. Can I come in? Yes. Yes, of course. Don't tell me there's another problem at work. No. I think the problem's right here. I talked to Colleen.
Why must everyone keep prying?
I'm not trying to pry. It's just that at Wentworth, with everything going on, it's hard to get anything into perspective. Here at home, I just thought you might like someone to talk to.
I don't know what I want, Meg.
Someone to cheer you up? Help you look on the bright side?
Thanks. I think I could do with that.
Oh, that's the wrong brush, love.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's my fault. I moved it without thinking, you see.
Must be hard for you to adjust, dear. Of course it's hard. Are you used to living with people? It's a bit hard not to when you're blind. Yes, of course. What about before? What about before? That doesn't matter now. I don't think back and I don't look forward. So just let it go, will you? But you've got to plan for the future. I mean, there's still lots of things you can enjoy. What about Braille? Did they teach you that? No, they give you talking books. It's easier for them. Well, I'm sure Mrs. Reynolds could arrange for you to... Stop nagging me, will you? Well, I'm only trying to help you look on the bright
For
side.
heaven's sakes, Minnie, leave the girl alone.
Just because you've given up, Judy, there's no reason for me to stand by and see Belinda do the same. Why shouldn't I give up? I haven't exactly got a lot to look forward to, have I? Because you've already proved that you're not a quitter. Why? Because I could stumble around the corridors and fold a few sheets. That's not exactly going to earn me a living when I get out of here, is it? Look, I know you're just trying to help, but I don't care, all right? I'm not going to do anything stupid. But if I died tomorrow, it wouldn't make much difference to anyone, including me. Oh, that's a terrible way to talk. There's always something to look forward to. I can't imagine ever not caring whether I live or die.
That's because you've got something to look forward to. We haven't. Come on, honey.
And they said she left it too late. They performed a double mastectomy.
But that doesn't mean it'll happen to you.
Why not? Oh, she didn't die. Not straight away. She lived for 8 months. You can call it living.
I'm so sorry.
We knew quite soon after the operation that she was dying. Dad never left her side. He retired so that he could be with her.
And you've got to stop dwelling on it.
Watching her dying like that, I saw his love turn to pity. I think he was quite relieved when it was over. I'm glad there's no one to pity me.
But there's a 6 in 7 chance. It's benign. Now, the trouble with you is you haven't confided in anybody. Wally, for example. I mean, he'd understand.
That's over. He's already making a new life for himself. Besides, I couldn't reasonably expect him to want me if I had the operation and survive.
But what about your children? I mean, you owe it to them. And to yourself. I mean, you're a young woman. If you don't do something about it, it will be too late. You will end up like your mother.
For God's sake, I'm going to. Let's just forget it. It's probably just a swollen gland or something. It must be.
Well, you're probably right. But you'll never know until you get it properly checked.
I'm going to.
But when? I mean, you keep putting it off.
I'm so frightened, Meg.
Well, I would be too. But there's only one question that really matters. Do you want to live?
Of course I do.
Well, then there isn't any choice. You must see the doctor.
I was a fool to trust you. What have you done with them?
What the hell are you on about this time? Done with what?
The licenses and the plate.
Have they gone?
Oh, come on, don't try and pretend with me. You've moved them, haven't you? You're trying to cut me out again.
Very clever, lady, but it won't work. Took him yourself, didn't you? This little game is so I wouldn't guess.
Oh, you're mad.
Not as mad as I'll be in a minute. Is your dope gone?
That has nothing to do with
Oh,
it.
of course not, darling. So, your little operation is still healthy.
You be careful, somebody could see it.
Now, you be careful, sweetheart. You'd better stay in this prison as long as you can, because as soon as you get out, fellows will kill you for this. And that's a promise.
And last but not least, Hewitt and Martin to the workshop.
Mitchell, you'll be leaving for court in half an hour. Get ready.
And you'll be back half an hour after that.
You reckon? I'd have a bet with you, except I won't be back to collect me winnings.
Oh, please come back, Bobby. Well, just to say goodbye.
Oh, I wouldn't worry too much, Mason. Mitchell's going to be with us for a long time yet.
All right, ladies, shall we move along, please?
Good luck, dear. Don't give the judge any cheek.
Thanks, Min. I'll be right.
little surprise for you, Hewitt.
What is it?
Don't be impatient, but don't get carried away in the workshop today.
Then you did take them.
But you said you'd help me.
And I will, I promise. But Minnie's a bit upset about some of the women that I'm letting free, so I have to deal with her first.
Why can't she wait?
Don't worry. It'll happen. First I release Minnie, and then you.
Tell me I'm being silly, Dr. Pascom. Tell me I've got nothing to worry about.
Look, I think we'll send you for a mammogram. I'll give them a ring, see if they can take you this morning.
So soon?
Well, best to find out as quickly as possible. A mammogram could quite easily show up a benign cyst, you know.
And if it doesn't?
Well, then we should need a biopsy to determine if it's malignant.
And then?
Oh, Annie, you know as well as I do that a mastectomy is still the accepted treatment.
Yes, of course. I can take a day or two off for the biopsy if it's necessary, and then if the worst happens, I've got holidays due in a couple of months' time. I don't want anything to interfere with my work. It's all I've got to keep me going.
It's not as simple as that, Anne. If the biopsy shows the tissue to be malignant, well, we don't like giving too many general anesthetics. The mastectomy is performed there and then.
But I need time.
Anne, your mother died because she left it too late for treatment. Please don't make the same mistake. The success rate of mastectomy is very high. Look, Anne, let's get ahead of ourselves. First, the mammogram.
Where's Lizzie with the skip?
Talk about the one I'm leading the blind. Belinda's probably tripped her up and broken her leg as well.
Yeah, well, at least she'll be getting out of this dump. I broke both my legs if I thought it'd get me past the parole board.
I'd forget it, Phyllis. They'd just lend you a wheelchair.
Oh, no, don't you worry about it, Phyllis. I reckon they're going to let you out. Anyway, I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Thanks, Cass. At least with Bobby in court today, my chances are better. The freak can't drag her in front of the board to lie about me bashing her.
They wouldn't have to. They'd believe the freak anyway.
You're a real Joni, you know that, Sonia?
Just a realist.
Well, Lizzie should be okay at least.
Well, a fat lot of good that does me.
You could be pleased for her, Phyllis. She'd be pleased for you. Oh, I'll miss her so much. I remember the first day I arrived. She loved looking at my wedding pictures. Although she liked the white chiffon best, I must admit it wasn't the best one as far as I was concerned.
Oh, well, I quite like the white chiffon one, Pete.
Did you, Cass? I thought it was a bit blousy.
Can we change the subject?
Yes, now girls, get back to work.
Well, in one way I hope Lizzie gets a parole, but I'm going to miss her.
I can't imagine life in Wentworth without her.
I hear you won't be around long enough to find out.
Righto, Mitchell, out you get.
Oh, can't we go around the block one more time?
Come on, I haven't got all day to waste with
Hey,
you.
get your filthy hands off me, you rotten mongrel.
Enough, Mitchell. Come on, you're in enough trouble as me.
Fat lot, you care.
You'll get what you deserve.
Oh, yeah? Don't hold your breath.
And it really wasn't what I expected. Basically, it's just an X-ray.
When do you get the results?
Later today, but I'm thinking positively. I'm sure it'll be all right.
I hope so.
Come in.
Oh, Governor, Mrs. Powell asked me to give you these. They're the final transfers, waiting your approval.
Oh, good.
There'll be a vehicle coming for them directly after lunch.
Fine.
How many are we losing?
6 initially. Swan and Bannister from D block, Kennedy and Druin from C, and Brett and Hewitt from H. That's fine, Joan. Oh, and don't let them know until it's time to collect their things. I want to avoid as much trouble as possible.
Right, Governor.
I think it'll take more than 6 transfers to change things.
I'm Reynolds speaking.
Well, it may not stop the escapes, but at least we're weeding out some of the riffraff.
I see. Yes, please keep me informed. Right, thank you. Goodbye.
Problem?
Mitchell gave the police the slip this morning outside court.
Oh, no.
But at least the department can't blame us for this one.
Donovan?
Oh, yes, Mr. Bridges.
I'll see you later, Miss.
All right, dear.
I've been thinking about what you said, Minnie. Come along with me.
Then you'll stop these escapes? Oh, I am glad.
Well, it's not as simple as that, Minnie, because I'm committed to it, you see. But what I was thinking was, if I set you free, then you'd realise that the others were never coming back.
But I don't want to escape. I'll get out. Don't you fret yourself. But I'll do it through the court, nice and legal.
Well, at least let me show you how I release the others. Then you won't worry anymore. Will you come?
Of course I will, dear. Where are we going?
To the boiler room.
The boiler room? How on earth do you get rid of them through the boiler room?
You must be patient, Minnie. Sooner or later you're going to know all my tricks. Just trust me, okay?
All right, Mr. Bridges. I can't wait to see how you do it.
Excuse me, lady. It's not time the next bus is due. Oh, sorry. It's just that I haven't eaten since Friday.
past. You must be starving.
Yeah.
Not since Friday?
No.
Don't you have any parents? A family?
Nah, well, I'm an orphan, but I got me brothers and sisters.
Do they all go hungry?
Oh, well, usually I try and feed them, you know, and clothe them sometimes.
That's dreadful. How old are you?
14. Suppose I should be at school, but, well, the younger ones need me.
Isn't there anything you can do?
Yeah, you'd be real surprised at some of the things I come up with. Well, see ya.
But the bus is due at any moment.
Oh, I haven't got the fare.
Well, here we are, Minnie. You will understand, won't you?
Of course I will. I think it's very brave of you. Someone's coming.
Something wrong, Mr. Bridges?
No, no.
It was my fault, Miss Ferguson. I thought I heard a noise.
Really? Well, then perhaps we'd better have a look.
Oh, there's no need. I checked already. Nothing. Joyce Barrow did say something about rats in the area, though.
Rats, oh, horrible creatures. Let's get away from here.
Donovan, we'll take you back to the recreation room.
Yes, Miss Ferguson.
Quite a character, isn't she?
If you like criminals. Now, I've got to collect a few of the women for transfer. I could do with some help.
Yes, of course.
But Bridges told me himself Minnie was next on the list.
Will you drop it, Sonia? Minnie isn't like that. She cares too much about the people in here.
She cares a lot more for herself than any of you lot. So much for your top dog.
Min's not like that. And anyway, she wouldn't go without saying goodbye to me. Of course, no.
Let's face it, she deserted you.
Oh, gosh, you're a rotten fibber. You're just trying to turn us against her.
Yeah.
Well, Minnie would never do that.
What wouldn't I do?
See, what did I tell you?
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't try and escape without saying goodbye to me first, Min.
Who says I was trying to escape?
I did. And why didn't you?
You shouldn't judge others by your own standards, Sonia.
Sorry to break up your little powwow, ladies. Come on, Hewitt, come with us.
What for?
To get your things together.
I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, I wouldn't bet on that.
Shut up, Bryant. Come on, Hewitt. Haven't got all day.
What's happening?
Well, this looks like a transfer. At least this time we can say goodbye. Usually they just Shanghai you.
Oh, look now, just a minute.
You haven't got a minute, Hewitt.
Goodness, they can't just take her away like that.
Oh, can't they?
That's not fair. We do have some rights. We're not just animals to be shipped about to suit them.
I'll try telling that to the department.
Oh, it's shameful.
Shut up, the lot of you. I'll put you all on a report. Now, you heard the bell. Get back to work. Well, Stevens, looks like it's just you and me again. It's like old times, isn't it?
Where are the bastards sending me?
I don't know, Brenda.
You should have waved a magic wand before. It's too late now.
Ready, Hewitt?
I suppose this was your idea.
I don't think she'll give any trouble. I'll see her through to reception.
All right.
Well, Hewitt, looking forward to meeting up with your friends at Barnhurst?
Drop dead.
Hewitt, Mr. Fellows would like you to take these with you.
Good afternoon, Anne Reynolds speaking. Oh, Dr. Bascom, I wasn't expecting to hear from you so soon.
And I've got the results here. I'm sorry, but you've got to go in for biopsy.
No.
Look, I don't want you to worry. I've called in Len Thomas. He's brilliant, and he really is. You couldn't be in better hands. Anne, you there, Anne?
Yes, I'm sorry. How soon do you want me?
Well, I've booked you into St. Matthew's day after tomorrow. Is that all right?
Hi. Thought you must have gone home by now.
I went for a walk after Justice Walters commandeered the office. How's the parole hearing going?
Oh, it's in full swing. That dreadful Higgins woman is there again. One looks as though she's got a terrible smell underneath her nose. Hunt's with them now. Her chances I don't fancy.
Thanks for standing in, Colleen. I haven't been exactly pleasant to work with lately, have I? I'm sorry.
Don't be silly. And look if there's anything else I can do.
You'll be doing a hell of a lot. You're going to be acting governor from next week when I go into hospital.
Oh, dear. Sorry.
Well, might only be for a few days. No point in crossing bridges yet.
Oh, of course there isn't. Listen, why don't you go on home now? I can handle the parole board, and you do look a bit tired.
Oh, well, thanks, Colleen, but I said I'd do everything I could for Lizzie. I have to make my report. She'd kill me if I didn't.
All right, but after that?
I'll go home. I promise. And thanks again.
You got the fidgets.
No, I can't help it, Mum. I'm nervous. I've never been to a parole hearing before.
Don't you worry. I know how to get around that lot. How could they keep a poor, weak old lady like me locked up all these years? It's not human.
Mother, you're impossible.
Yeah, I am, aren't I? Where they go?
6 months in this bloody hole. The rotten mongrels didn't give me a chance.
Oh, I'm sorry, love.
Enough, Phyllis. You're next, Lizzie.
Thanks, Mrs. M.
Watch out for that hard-faced bitch, Lizzie. She drinks battery acid for breakfast.
Mum, that woman, is she a friend of yours? She's not the kind you want to invite home for tea.
Oh, Phil's all right, but she's not one of me friends. I mean, you have to get along with everybody in here because you can never get away from them.
I hope they're not that hard on you.
Phyllis never had Buckleys. She was in with a bad lot. Wait till I get in there. I might even get them to give me compo for me arm.
Hello, Missy. Mr. Charlton.
Right, Mrs. Reynolds.
Well, today's a big day.
Yes, Mrs. Reynolds. We'll give them a run for their money, won't we?
I'm sure we will.
Oh, you're going in now?
Yes.
Do I come too?
Not yet.
Bugger it. Now I won't be able to hear her raving on about me.
Beautiful unit, isn't it? I can see you know your sound. 25 watts a channel, $6.98 a week after the deposit. Here, let me show you.
Hi, Harry. What's happening?
Bloody long tea break, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think the new waitress in the cafeteria fancies me.
Oh, you reckon?
Excuse me. Don't tell me. Just keeping it warm first, right?
What do you reckon?
Oh, they're taking forever in there.
Getting nervous after all, Mum.
Of course not, love. I'm just bored silly sitting here and my arm's itching under the cast and I can't get to it to scratch it.
I think they'll want to talk to you next, Mr. Charlton. I managed to convince them you're not a dangerous criminal.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Reynolds.
Inspector Thorne's here. He's waiting in the staff room.
Oh, dear. Thanks. Good luck, Lizzie.
Thank you, Mrs. Powell. Oh, Po-Face is not a bad sort. She doesn't smile much because she's frightened of splitting her face.
That's enough, Birdsworth.
Oh, big ears.
Mr. Charlton?
Don't be nervous, love. You just tell them the truth and they can't hang you for that.
Do sit down, Mr. Charlton.
Thank you.
We appreciate you giving up your time, and we won't keep you long.
That's quite all right. Anything at all to help my mother.
Very commendable. You won't mind answering a few questions?
No, not at all.
Good.
Tell us, Mr. Charlton, what experience have you had in dealing with recidivist criminals?
I reckon I better just stretch me old bones.
Birdsworth?
This place is a madhouse today. I'm sorry we couldn't use my office.
Ah, this room will do fine, Mrs. Reynolds. I could use that cuppa. Well, to bring you up to date, there have been a couple of reports that your first escapee, Mary Adler, has been sighted on the Gold Coast. That makes sense. That's where I'd head.
Wouldn't mind getting away myself.
Of course, it could be a dead end, but I've got a couple of men looking into it. And so far, that's all we've got. Not a dicky bird about the other two. It's a worry.
Yeah, especially since we still don't know how they're getting out. They're just disappearing into thin air.
Yeah, so we've noticed.
Any suggestions?
Well, we've got no jurisdiction in Wentworth, and I don't want a demarcation hassle with the prison officers, but I would like your permission to put some men in the prison grounds and in the prison.
I can't agree to that, Inspector. I'd have every corrective officer in the state on strike.
I'd like you to put it to them nonetheless. Could you organise a meeting?
Why? What extra good would it do? You suggesting that my officers are inefficient?
Well, apart from this alleged sighting of Mary Adler, we've no proof that the women have left the prison at all. They could be still here, in hiding.
Inspector, my officers have searched this place with a fine tooth comb. There is no way any of the missing women could be here. And you still haven't answered my question.
I'm not suggesting they're inefficient, Mrs. Reynolds.
Then what is it? What are you suggesting?
Well, let's face facts. If these women are vanishing into thin air, as you put it, they must be doing it with the assistance of one of your officers.
And I reckon this is my last chance, Your Honour. I mean, I'm not as young as I used to be, and I could go any tick of the clock. It's all that scrubbing and washing. Me veins just won't stand it.
No, of course not.
But surely the laundry has automatic washing machines.
Of course it has. But you still gotta load 'em. All those wet sheets and stuff being bundled into the dryers day in, day out, year in, year out.
Mrs. Birdsworth, if you do get parole, well, tell us what you intend to do with the rest of your life.
Yes, sir, Your Honour. Well, I haven't got much time left, but I reckon it'd be a real treat to go to church regularly every Sunday. God, I've missed all those hymns and candles. And then I'd like to start a garden with trees and shrubs and things for me grandchildren when I go, so that they can remember me. And maybe Arthur, that's my son, you know him, maybe Arthur will buy me a rocking chair. Oh, that'd be ripper. And I could sit and read to me grandchildren. That's if me eyes will hold out.
And would these twilight year activities of yours include the making of illicit alcohol?
I beg your pardon?
Mrs. Birdsworth, isn't it a fact that you've been caught making hooch, I believe the term is, on at least 7 occasions in the past 10 years?
Yeah, but that was purely medicinal for me cough. I mean, we didn't even have a doctor here for 8.
Isn't it a fact that you are an alcoholic and that your incarceration here has probably saved your life by depriving you, for the most part, of drink?
That's a bloody lie. I mean, of course I like to drop now and then to warm the cockles of me heart, just like everybody else, Your Honour.
I'm a teetotaler.
Now, Mrs. Birdsworth, about your involvement in the murder of Nola Mackenzie.
Oh, it's still on Lizzie's case.
I had to take Green back to her cell. I mean, she's ropeable. That Higgins woman on the board is playing devil's advocate. I mean, it's hard to imagine that one little old lady could give them so much ammunition.
It is Lizzie. And where's Arthur? Deserted his mum.
No, he's in the staff room having a cup of tea. Mrs. Barry's looking after him.
Hear about Mitchell?
Escaping, you mean?
No. The news has just come through that they've caught her. Stupid little fool. She was silly enough to shoplift a cassette player.
Yeah.
They took her straight to court.
Another 6 months bed and board. Have you told Anne yet?
No, she'd left before the news came through. I'm worried about that one.
Because of the mammogram?
She's going into hospital. A biopsy.
Oh, God, she was frightened of that happening. You'll be acting for her, I suppose?
Yep. Well, let's hope that biopsy shows she's clear. Otherwise, we could be in for a new governor.
Oh, let's not think about it.
We have to. If she has a mastectomy, it could be quite a while before she's allowed to work. And I can't see the department keeping the job open for her, can you?
Probably not.
How about another hassle? The police want to put their men on the grounds. There's a union meeting about it tonight.
Well, why would they want to do that?
Well, I can't see it being approved anyway.
Well, sit down, I'll get you a cup of coffee. I suppose it should be champagne. Have you come over to help me celebrate? Do you know, I really can't believe it's all over. Sam said I must have been hit on the head with a horseshoe.
Hello?
Mrs. Reynolds, I've just been telling Paul that he was lucky this time, but if Fellows really wants to try and get back at him, he's liable to try again.
You know your trouble, Sam. You may look like a free spirit, but inside you're just an old-fashioned fuddy-duddy solicitor, like Mum's Mr. Robinson. Try looking on the bright side for a change, eh, Mum?
Paul, could we talk?
Sure.
I should go, Paul.
Do you have to go?
Yes, I really must. Nice seeing you again, Mrs. Reynolds.
Yes.
I'll pick you up at 7 o'clock for dinner.
Okay.
Now, what's the matter? What do you want to talk about? Are you all right? I'm sorry, I've been raving about myself all day. It's Wally. Did you have another fight with him?
If only it was as simple as that. This is very painful for me, Paul. But, well, you have a right to know.
Oh, do you really think Miss Ferguson arranged Brenda's transfer?
Of course she did, Pixie. First Bea, then Brenda. Huh. Wonder who's going to be next.
Well, I reckon I'm safe. No place left they can send me.
That doesn't make you safe. That rotten bitch has other ways of getting at you. Look what she did to my parole.
Yes, well, what are we going to do about it?
Same thing we did last time, and this time we make sure we do it properly.
I thought Minnie had plans to get rid of Ferguson. Well, how about it, Minnie? Perhaps you're just plain slate.
You watch your mouth, Sonia.
It's all right, Cass. I promised I'd get rid of her, and I will, when the time comes.
When's that? 1999.
Well, I'm not going to fail the way you did. That's why it's going to take time.
Well, that's all very well, Minnie, but in the meantime, we've got to put up with the rotten, ugly-looking bitch.
Right. Sounds very interesting. Anyone I know? Well, ladies, thought I'd be the bearer of good tidings. Your little mate Mitchell. She got 6 months.
Oh.
She's on her way back.
Oh, Miss Ferguson, we won't be able to say goodbye to Lizzie before she goes, won't we?
I don't really think that's going to be necessary, Mason. As far as I know, Birdsworth's not going anywhere.
They're bloody well going to keep me locked up. Why don't they bloody say so?
You keep quiet, they'll hear you. They obviously just haven't reached a decision yet.
What are they bloody well doing? I've been sitting here so long, me bum's gone numb. It's been hours.
25 minutes, to be exact.
Oh, it can't be. Your watch must have gone bung.
You don't give up, do you? All right, if it's going to make you feel any better, I'll check.
Thank you, Mrs. Powell.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt. It's just that Birdsworth's getting a bit restless, and I was wondering how long.
Well, we do have a difference of opinion here, Mrs. Powell. It may take some time yet.
Perhaps Birdsworth should be returned to her normal duties. I presume she has work to do.
Yes, that's right.
Well, that might be best then.
She's due for an exercise period. She could be recalled from the gardens when you need her.
That sounds like just the ticket.
Okay, I'll arrange it.
I keep thinking of Nana.
So do I. But I am not going to die, Paul, believe me.
Of course not. Have you told Wally?
I'm not going to.
Why?
It's none of his business.
And that happens to everybody. It doesn't mean you're not in love anymore. Look, you need him, Mum.
What I had with Wally is over, Paul. I want you to promise me that you won't say anything to him. No buts. Please, Paul, promise me.
Okay. I promise.
I bet they sent Lizzie straight home after all. I mean, if she didn't get paroled, she'd be back here by now.
Yeah, it sure looks like that.
Oh, dear, Lizzie. I wish we could have said goodbye. It's just not fair.
Parker, exercise period.
Oh, come, Mrs. Powell. Has Lizzie gone, Mrs. Powell?
You know, I can't tell you that. Get out.
Hey, guess what little Dicky Bird just told me?
About Lizzie?
No, Bobby. She pushed some cop down the stairs and went on the lam for a couple of hours.
Oh, that stupid girl. I warned her.
Yeah, well, I reckon it was worth a try. I'm not waiting around for 6 months for some stinking parole board. I'm going to get Bridges to show me the way.
You wait your turn, Phyllis. I'm next.
Oh, really? And what gives you priority?
You can forget about it, all of you. I've told Mr. Bridges already, and I say it once more loud and clear for the rest of you. No one's escaping from Wentworth until I clear it first.
Rounding them up?
Yeah, most of them. David Bridges, he's out with Parker and Lizzie. He's given me his proxy, but he'd rather vote against the idea. Also, there are proxies from Joanne, Riley, Joyce, Susan. They're against it, whatever comes up in the discussion.
It almost seems like a waste of time, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think it's an insult to the service. We can look after our own.
For once, I agree with you, Joan.
Well, my only worry is that it could look as if we really do believe one of us is helping them.
You'll never get the votes to bring police on our territory. Look, I'll guarantee that no officer is helping prisoners escape from Wentworth. The idea is ridiculous.
It was that bloody Higgins woman. She had a face like a robber's dog.
You're jumping to conclusions, Lizzie. It might be all right.
Yeah, I reckon he'll be home in time for tea.
Would you two just shut up? I might be old, but I'm not senile.
Oh, jeez, now what you have a go at me for, Mr. Bridges? I thought it was mates.
Oh, it's all right, Cass. It's just the waiting getting her down.
Yeah. Hey, maybe I'd better go and have a word, eh?
No, look, I wouldn't if I were you. I'd leave her alone for a while.
Then we're all agreed?
I'll abide by the majority rule.
And Mrs. Powell, if you'd like to fetch Mrs. Birdsworth, we can give her the good news. Her parole has been granted.
Rotten thing.
Oh!
Look, I think I will go and have a word with her. Now, you stay here, okay?
Oh, yeah, righto, Mr. Bridges.
Good.
Oh!
What's the matter, Lizzie?
Oh.
What's the matter? Shh, what's the matter?
Oh, buddy, Mr. Bridges. Oh.
Wrong, Lizzie. There are two bodies. I set them free. And now, you can be free too. See?
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.